For so long I have waited, so long that I almost became just a stoic statue fit for nobody. And I don't wanna get in your way, but I finally think I can say that the vicious cycle was over the moment you smiled at me. And just like the rain, you cast the dust into nothing and wash out the soul from my head. So touch me again, I feel my shadow dissolving. Will you cleanse me with pleasure? It's that chemical cut that I can get down with, up like the moon and out like the hounds. A dangerous disposition, somehow refracted in light, reflected in sound. I'm coiled up like a venomous serpent, tangled in your trance, and I'm certain you have got your hooks in me. I know the way that it goes. You get what you give, you reap what you sow, and I can see you in my face. And I know I am what I am, the mouth of the wolf, the eyes of the lamb. So darling, will you saturate? Just like the rain, you cast the dust into nothing and wash out the salt from my head. So touch me again, I feel my shadow dissolving. Will you cleanse me with pleasure? Nobody can say for certain if maybe it's all just a game. When I open my eyes to the future, I can hear you say my name. So rain down on me. Oh, rain down on me. Rain down on me. Rain down on me. Rain down on me.
All right, guys, what is going on? What is good? What is good? Welcome to the stream. Hope you guys had a good weekend. I hope you guys are blessed. We got a lot to look at. We got a lot to talk about too. Know what I mean? So hopefully you guys are ready, man. Hopefully you guys are ready. I'm digging it, man. I woke up way early today, dude. And I figured out why. The one time I don't put my phone on airplane mode, somebody called me at like 6 a.m. I was like, who the fuck is that? Come to find out, it was Amazon. They were trying to get in my neighborhood. So they were like, oh, your package hasn't been delivered. I was like, you deliver packages like every week. How did you not get it? So anyway, I had to cancel that order and just reorder the same shit for tonight. Bastards. I'm over here trying to, you know, do shit and having to deal with that. You gotta love it. Mic check, mic check. Okay, we should be pretty good. We should be pretty good. What's good, Naruto, Alex, CG, Willow, Hermita, Monkey, Amin, 2020, Ebernith, what happened? Ebernith, what the fuck? What happened? Where's your sniper at? What's going on? What's good, Toby, MJ, Marshall, Dave, Jeff? We got some funded traders in the chat. Hello. Hello, everyone. All right. So what's on the table for today? Higher indices. I'm sticking to that. I am sticking to that. I did tweet that earlier, by the way. Today. Damn. There we go. I don't know why this isn't like moving, but okay, whatever. So or in the evening time, sorry, that was yesterday. So in the evening time, I was saying kind of bullish on NQ. We'll see what happens pretty soon. Have a good week. Of course, with a little smiley face. But yeah, so that was last night, right? So that was, you know, obviously prior to London, prior to the equities and all that. But I will explain, you know, because last night, well, let me get dollar index off of here because dollar's kind of wilding out. We will come back to that though. So yeah, last night at 10 p.m., that was like right down here. What did I say? 10:30, 10:40? Somewhere in here, right? And so I want to talk about some of the opportunities from today, our current low of the day, which you could probably already see why, and why I still think we're going to get higher pricing despite trading lower. You guys good with that? You guys good with that? You know, when that's what I should have titled the stream, when your tinfoil hat is shaped like a crystal ball, you know? Because I told you shit was coming, told you shenanigan was coming, because it's an election year, right? Now all of a sudden there's power outages and shit, or internet outages, whatever, all kind of weird shit. The current president just said, fuck it, I'm out. Like, bro, told you weird shit was coming. I told you weird shit was coming. And weird shit is here. So you're welcome. You are welcome for that, chat. That was free. Free of charge. And no, we're just getting started, my friend. What's going on with gold? Gold slightly lower. What's good, Cameron, Crispy J, Felix, Convicted Capitalist, Flacco. But yeah. Equal lows on NQ. I know you're lying. 809.25. Yeah, don't be lying to me, broski. We're going higher. We're not going lower. Big fella. But if we go lower, I'll give you props. But I'm sticking to my guns. And I don't really care who goes against me, to be honest. Friday. Okay. Friday's close, almost 19,700. And today's open, right? Equities open 19,954, almost 955. So a couple of you had a question on that on the other day, or whenever you caught up on some of the videos. You guys might not be able to see it because I have my social medias right here, but if I take those off, you can see it. So down at the bottom right of the chart, do you see this down here? it says RTH, which stands for regular trading hours. That's going to show you equities. When you click that, you can change the session from regular trading hours to electronic trading hours, ETC. Okay. So electronic, that's going to give you like Sunday's gap, Asia, London, pre-market, all that shit. It's going to give you, you know, all that data that is in the futures entirety. Again, regular trading hours is really going to be the equities market only. So 8:30 to 3 p.m. Central Time. Make sense? So when we talk about gaps, right? Like, or if I say, hey, we equities opened higher. What I mean by that is I'm referring to the previous day's close. Right? So again, today's Monday, so that means Friday's close is here. We opened higher with the gap. So that's what I mean by that. We opened higher. Now you guys already know this lesson. What happens when you have a gap or you have a large imbalance? Okay? Just like pizza, we cut it in half. There's your 50% right there. 19,827. That doesn't make sense in the electronic trading hours. You might look at this and go, why the fuck is that the low of the day? Because you didn't measure the equities gap and you didn't measure halfway. Don't be lazy in your analysis. Don't be lazy. You miss easy shit. And then you ask me why you lost, right? Or why you take a losing trade. Again, if you do not listen to what I tell you, I cannot fucking help you. Okay? Like, I'm going to keep repeating myself. I cannot help you if you neglect what I tell you to do or what I tell you that I'm looking at. Can't help you. Welcome back, Ethernet. There we go. Welcome back. You love to see it. What's good, Anthony? What's good, Funk? Hello, hello. All right. So last night, why would I still be bullish, right? We haven't seen London. We haven't seen equities. We haven't seen anything. Why would I still be bullish? Because, my friends, we still have. I deleted everything. I have before screenshots, and I'm still going to take after screenshots, but I always delete everything when we get on YouTube so that we can mark it up together. But I have a bunch of before screen. I haven't taken the after yet because we're not there. We've only hit the first TP. We haven't hit second TP yet. Okay. So you guys already know. 19,980 is Friday's high. All right. Friday's high. But it dubs. Right. If I was Robert Greene, I'd say doubly. It's doubly important because it's not just Friday's high, but it is also low resistant highs. So that's even better, right? Previous day high and low is fine. But when you have a previous day high or a previous day low that also dubs as low resistant highs or low resistant lows, oof. Talk about high probability. It doesn't get better than that, in my opinion, right? So what are we coming off of? How do we know that the low's been set? That's why I told you in the Discord, I said, because one of you talked about triple Qs. I said, I already covered that on Friday, right? That was taken on the future side. That was taken already. So I'm more worried about the futures, okay? So now when you see it, and I'm going to take the fibs off because we're getting a little bit too messy, okay? Now, are you getting a, is it coming to you yet? Is it clicking? No, John, I don't see it yet. Or maybe you do. Maybe you're like, yeah, John, I know exactly what you're looking at. I need to find a better place to put these because I don't. I keep losing them. Boom. You already know the framework, right? This particular framework is a market maker buy model. It's not mine. I didn't invent it. Never said I did. Never claimed I did. Some people think, you know, oh, I made this up. I didn't make this up. 30 years old. Market's been around for fucking 1,000 years. Come on. Consolidation and or equal highs or low resistance highs. We'll get distribution, another level of distribution. We'll see a higher time frame concept get traded into. Doesn't matter if it's a low resistant lows, all-time lows, London's low, previous day low, previous week low. It could be a monthly imbalance. It could be a whole number of shit. As long as it seeks or, you know, meets some sort of liquidity. Then if we are going to trade higher, we're going to see accumulation. So you're going to have low risk buys down in here, or you're going to have an area of accumulation. And then if it rallies higher, you get another level of reaccumulation to launch, to seek opposing liquidity, right? So what do you see here? Well, there's your consolidation slash and or equal highs. You see this small consolidation in here? That had to be overnight. Equities never does that shit. There's your distribution. Then you have Friday. We talked about that same framework in here. So you got a smaller time frame framework within a larger time frame framework. I told you price is fractal. Juicy shit, chat. Juicy shit. There is your run on liquidity, right? Now you see, before any of this formed today, that's why you saw what? When I tweeted, I would say tweet, so I had to tweet last night. I tweeted right there saying what? Kind of bullish on Nasdaq. Because this is what? Well, again, this isn't all drawn out yet, but hypothetically, right? In theory, we would be projecting, aka predicting, not reacting, predicting that this would be where the low risk buys or the low risk longs are at, even though it's Sunday's gap, and I don't trade in I don't trade that. I didn't trade this. Okay. But I'm anticipating that to be what? First stage or first area of accumulation slash low risk longs. Because it's a weird time. I'm like tweeting in the evening time, right? So what should we see today? Reaccumulation to go higher. Now today is kind of weird, though. I'll give you that. Like, we had some janky shit in here. I'll cover that in a minute. But remember that 50% right here? That 50% of that equities gap open also ends up being a little bit below 50% of the overall range. So that makes this what? That makes everything down here a discount. Now I'm going to make it blue this time only because the accumulation we've marked as green. And I don't want to have two greens on here to confuse you. So in the macro perspective, this was all in discount. That 50% of the gap was in discount. I tweeted in a discount. Sunday's gap was in a discount. All that was in a discount. So you see why trading becomes easy? It can be. I mean, trading, you know, is difficult. It is. But when it comes to technical analysis, when you have liquidity to attack, it's going to trade there. And right, C Banks, it's, well, you're right. It's a market maker model. this would actually be a buy. So it would be or because I'm always saying MMXM. It's MMBM, market maker buy model. So you're right. Now this morning, this is where things get a little bit tricky, okay? So let's discuss it. And I already posted this in the Discord. I'm not going to show you my journal, but I will tell you what I did journal. I said I'm bullish on Nasdaq. I'm bullish on the indices. I want to see us open, and I want to see a long below equities open. Okay? So there's your equities. 19,954, almost 55. Right? Now you have this lingering level of liquidity up here, and then just above that you have 20K. Some people say psychological level. I never call it that because that's not what it is. It's a whole number. You can call it that, but there's really nothing psychological about it. A lot of orders are placed near or at those levels. Okay. You actually have a 20 level right above that too. Like right here. 20,020. It's like right there. Okay. But I don't want to be too messy. So what do you see here? We have a low here. We have a low here. We actually have quite a bit of lows on the way up. So it was kind of hard to keep the chart clean while marking up all of the lows. So for sake of simplicity, I'm just going to mark two of them. Okay. Just for simplicity's sake, I'm just going to mark two of them. But on your own chart, you should mark up more. All right. Yeah. Funk. I don't know why I do that. Anyway. Okay. What were you supposed to study? Not this weekend. The weekend we just had. The weekend prior to that. What were you supposed to study that most of you didn't? And you can type your answers in the chat. The chat's open today, by the way. I left it open. Doesn't even bother me. I don't care. Free chat Mondays, okay? What were you supposed to study 2 weekends ago? What was it? What's good, Alex? What's good, Lamath? Excuse me. MJ says bearish imbalance turning into bullish imbalance. Kind of. You're on the right track. Naruto says imbalances within inverted imbalances after liquidity sweep. Thank you, Naruto. Thank you for that. So do we have an imbalance that was created on the way down? Well, yes, absolutely. Equities, the equities open almost always does that. I'm not saying it always does, but when you have volatility come in, a lot of the times you will see imbalances form. Right? Now, are we going to short that? Are we going to short that? If price is trading lower, right? Oh, it made new lows. That's a break of structure. Is it? Is it a break of structure? Well, yeah, John, it closed lower. Well, on a 1 minute chart, maybe. Fade me at your own peril. Fade me at your own peril, my friends. I told you higher. Higher, right? So before the market goes higher, what does it do first? It goes lower, usually, not always. It could have just ran straight up there at the open. It didn't do that. It almost always trades lower first to grab liquidity. To grab liquidity. And there's even like some smaller lows over here that it took. Okay. But again, simplicity's sake, I'm just marking the two obvious, the two most clear ones. Right? Market comes back into that. Is that a short? Fuck no. It's going higher. So we can wait for that because I'm pretty sure this is what Dodgy does, or very close to it, because he trades this kind of shit. He trades inversions, right? And that's fine. So it trades through that. Okay, cool. Did it leave anything on the way up? Yes. It left a bullish imbalance right there, staring at you in the face. It's right there. It's right there. Imbalance within a previous imbalance. And just for sake of completeness sake, we do have a lower one down here. But you already know the protocol. What is the protocol when you have two imbalances? Because both of these are inside the inversion. So what is the protocol? The first one, right? Longing the first one with the stop at the second one, which would be here. So that means the stop could have went, I'll give you an example. Okay. Long just below the imbalance, stop like down here. Okay. It's kind of a wide stop. All right. 20K. It's right there. That gives you almost a 1 to 2. So that was an easy scalp. That's what you and Flacco long today? Nice. That's good shit. Yeah, definitely not bad. So that was the scalp to go higher. But now we could talk about, because it traded lower, right? And then came all the way down here. And that's fine. That's why I said this was a scalping idea, but overall, still bullish. I have no reason to be bearish. I have no reason. All right. Anyway, I forgot where I was going with that. So that run here, right, took out Friday's high and the low resistant high. So at a minimum, that should have at least been a partial. Okay. So that was your scalping idea for this morning. Now for down here, honestly, was a little bit too close for lunch, in my opinion, for the future side. All right. I ain't gonna lie to you. But there's your 50%. There's 1050, 1055. And then right at 11, we have what? Take a look at it. There's 11 a.m. So there's your lunch open. Again, I don't trade lunch on the future side. But for studying purposes, we have what? An imbalance below the hourly open. And it looks like shit. To be honest, it closes within that. And then the next candle trades through it and then respects it. So that's a little, you know, it's kind of janky to me. But nonetheless, this is where we're at for the day. So, I don't know, kind of cool. But yeah, almost, let me zoom out. Almost always before the market goes higher, if we're going to reach up here, because that's like the longer term objective for me. We probably won't get that today. We could, I don't think so. But that's still the longer term objective. So if it's going to do that, that's fine. But you can see even on small time frame, it comes back for stops. And on like the day's perspective, it came back for stops during that morning session, but it also came in to trade into that gap. Remember, the regular trading hours gap. And then I want to say, well, to be fair, I wouldn't really look at it this way, because this is kind of like the formation it just doesn't seem right to me. But you do have a low, high, and that lower low that, remember, was that run on that daily or July 1st's low, whatever that was. So that being the liquidity run, that should be our low. And on a 15-minute time frame, that's a up candle from Friday at 10:45, and that also acted as a mitigation. So again, gap 50% and a kind of a shit mitigation here too. And that to me is what makes that imbalance pretty nasty, even though it's lunch. So I say all that to say I'm still bullish. All right. Now, if that wasn't enough for you, I tweeted it to you last night. Told you I was bullish last night. If you weren't looking for longs today, and if you missed all the opportunities in there, if you missed this opportunity or these opportunities, well, fuck, I can't help you now. But if you at least missed the understanding, like, okay, well, we're in the framework, we're in the gap, we're in the mitigation, we got a bunch of shit in here that's pointing to the right direction. But what is the dollar doing? Because that's what I had on here, right? And oh my God, let's just take everything off now because we're too much, right? Is there a way that we can utilize Dixie? Is there a way that we can utilize the dollar index to somehow potentially be in alignment with higher indices? Maybe. I don't know, John. Let's take a look. You tell me. Okay, some of you are going to shit yourself. I promise. Well, I'm not going to promise that, but I feel like you might. Okay, so what's going on here? Take a real look at this. Take a moment and really look at this. Does the dollar index, does it give us any indication that it might go lower? Is there any indication that the indices will rally because of a lower dollar? Some of you were looking at gold. No. Can't do it. George, you're banned. I'm gonna get the cancel culture on you. What is, don't look at Nasdaq. Look at dollar. Okay, this is the part where some of you are going to have light bulb moments. And you're going to want to tip. Or you're going to tip like $5. All right? You don't have to do that shit. Triple highs, right? You have your one retracement, second high, right? So you have a higher high here, retracement. And then you have that third higher high. Okay. When that third higher high is being made, That was at 1050 Central. What's Nasdaq at 1050? Reaching its gap. 50% of the gap, rather. Reaching that imbalance. Trading below. Like, it's the same session, but, you know, I'll say equities open. How about that? I'll say our equities open low, right? So it's trading below our equities open low, and the dollar is printing that third higher high, right? So guess what? If the dollar trades lower, God, that arrow is so ugly. I need the regular one. If the dollar is going to trade lower and the indices still are bullish, that's going to add confluence to your idea. That's going to add to the idea that I gave you 14 hours ago. Oh, yeah. Lower dollar, higher indices. So what I'm trying to tell you is that down in here, at least, even though despite it being 11 o'clock, down in here, the stars were still aligned, my friend. The stars were aligned. You had everything you need in here. You had framework, you had a gap, you had a mitigation, you had higher time frame discount, attacking higher time frame liquidity, you had intermarket analysis on your side. Everything was there. Wow, John, that's a lot. Yeah, it is. And we're not done either. How about that? Oh my God, there's more? Really? Yes. If we're going to look at dollar, okay, dollar is the center of the universe, okay? Not your significant other, definitely not my exes, okay? None of you are the center of the universe. The dollar index is, okay? There's your third higher high, and it trading lower. If the dollar is going to trade lower, we could look to do what? We could look to long currencies too. Well, what is there to long? The euro, because the euro had equal highs here. There's 10. There's 1050. What's 1050 doing for the euro? It already took liquidity and then traded into a gap. So, do you see why the dollar index is the center of the universe? The dollar is like, shit. I just got done watching that damn TV show. The ruler of the seven kingdoms. Man, it's the Red Keep, like the king of all seven kingdoms in Game of Thrones. Forgot the fucking name of it. But anyway, all of the foreign currencies, commodities, whatever, indices, equities, are all subservient to the dollar index. Does that make sense? Those might be fairly close equal highs as well. Kinda. It's kind of off a little bit. You had some highs up here too. Right? So do you see anything here? We're not done, chat. Keep up. We're not done. Do you see anything here? You let me know. Equal highs, distribution, liquidity. The rest of this shit, I'm not going to say it all again. Do we have that here? Consolidation / equal highs. This looks kind of shitty, but I'll say distribution, redistribution, run on liquidity, accumulation. Second leg. It's kind of off. I mean, it ain't always going to be picture perfect. All right. And I mean, even myself, sometimes I might, you know, mark it up wrong or whatever, but the overall idea is still here. The market's still going to trade liquidity to liquidity. This would be a discount, right? That 15-minute gap right here. Wait a minute, John. Hold up. Hold on. Wait a second. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. You're telling me that the dollar index is higher and the euro is higher? But all the Twitter threads, they say that it's opposite. That when the dollar goes up, euro goes down and vice versa. Well, I'm not fucking Twitter. All right. That's bullshit. They are not that heavily correlated. That is wrong. It's wrong. They can both go higher at the fucking same time. How do you know that's manipulation? How do you know that's accumulation? You're welcome. Just gave it to you. Oh man, all my friends and all my tweets, they're wrong? Yes. Yes, they are. It's almost inversely correlated. Almost. Not always. Euro accumulation. What's British pound doing? Trading lower. So that's weakness on British pound, which means accumulation on euro, which means dollar manipulation, dollar weakness. And dollar weakness means what? Long NQ, long ES, long equities. Oh my God, did we just use British pound to trade fucking Nasdaq? Wow. Wow, that is very interesting. No one else I know uses British pound to trade Nasdaq. No, because they don't know the cool shit, do they? Not everybody knows the cool shit. Now you do. Actually, this isn't even new to you. But I bet you've probably never tried to put everything together like this. When I've told you time and time again, it's all going to line up. It's all going to tell you the same thing. You just didn't understand what I meant by everything, did you? Oh, you said everything. You really meant everything? The fuck do you think everything means? What else would that possibly mean? Some of the things? No. It means when everything lines up, everything lines up. Ooh, the garbage men are here. I can hear them. Let's look at YM. Even though YM looks kind of shitty. That low, Dow never makes a lower low as well. So you do have that going for you too. Now I wouldn't long Dow, and longing Dow during lunch is, I mean, I don't know. I'd rather step on hot coals than do some shit like that. But if you look at it, Nasdaq lower, right? So lower lows on Nasdaq, plus everything I just got done explaining in the last 30 minutes, 35 minutes. Okay, so manipulation, accumulation, even though it's kind of shitty. But why all of a sudden do you see this rally here? Well, it wouldn't rally if it wasn't under accumulation of some sort. So there's the easy answer to that. And then there's your run. I didn't look at this whole time. There was the run I was looking for above Friday's high. We just didn't get it till later. And that's okay. Here's one thing too. The micros, and that's why I showed you this. The micros has low resistant highs here. And ES doesn't. It's like one tick higher. So that's kind of, you know, weird. And I usually don't like when it does that. But what does all of this look like to you? And I'll even zoom out for you. I will even zoom out for you, chat. I will hand it all to you. Banks, I have videos on that already. That, and to be even like more so, there's actually plenty of YouTube videos on it already. Not even from me, just other people. MMXMs are not new. They've been around for a long time. But I'm going to keep it crispy with you. The first time I looked at them, I was like, what the fuck is that? Shit never made sense to me for a long time. For a very long time. And that's okay. Oh God, this looks so bad. I'll just use that. Remember, it's not always picture perfect, okay? I like them when they're clean, but sometimes they can be dirty. You know what? I would just use... I usually mark up only the liquidity run. I mean, if you really wanted to mark up the whole consolidation for your studies, you can. But that's not what I think is important. For me, what's important is the actual run below the low. And this would be the second reaccumulation to go higher. So that same, this right here is on Nasdaq, zoomed out, but it's also on the ES today, on the micro side. Consolidation / low resistant highs, distribution, imbalance distribution, liquidity, stop run, right? So first area of accumulation and then reaccumulation to go higher. Why would this be reaccumulation? Because this old level of distribution. Bam! That's not new to you either. You've seen that before too. Old distribution becomes accumulation. But please, okay, do not get that confused with support and resistance. It looks like it. Well, yeah, John, that's easy. It was resistance and then turned support. Well, okay, you're right. And I hope that's not what you thought. Okay, I hope that's not just like, oh yeah, John, well, you're teaching me like some simple shit. Okay, but if price does not have a target to run to, this will not happen. You'll long it and then it'll shit the bed. And then you won't know why. You'll be like, oh man, that's just a loss. I'll just move on. It's like, no, bro. There are specific times when you use levels of distribution to become accumulation. And as I mentioned, most of this was during lunch anyway, and I wouldn't have done anything with that. So it's kind of depressing, but it's fine. It's not a big deal. But nonetheless, it's still good practice. Still good practice. Run on liquidity, Low risk longs in here, or like this imbalance, or like right in there. Almost anything in here would be low risk. There's like a mitigation right there too. Right? How do I know where the mitigations form? Well, I just answered that for you, didn't I? You didn't even know that was a question. How do I know where to place my stop? We went over that last week. If you're trading first leg or first area of accumulation, if this is a mitigation, your stop could go here if you long that. But if that's not enough, I mean, that's like 7 points. That's enough. But if you need more, I told you it can go to the previous stage. So if you're at the first stage of accumulation, the stop can go to the stop run, which never even gets close. If you're trading second leg, well, John, you know, that's a fat rally. I don't know, man. I don't know if I want to long that. Fuck it, I'll long it. Where am I going to place my stop? At the low of the first leg down here. Never even gets close, but it does run liquidity. How do I know when to get in? How do I know where to place my stop? Everything I just told you. How do I know what to target? I already told you. Everything. When to buy, when to sell, where to have your stop, how to find market direction, how to find liquidity, how to buy below old lows, right? In bull markets, you can buy below old lows. That's the Y slime model. That's opportunity number 1, imbalance in here, number 2, imbalance number 3, mitigation number 4, or that run below would be 4. This would be like number 5. This up here would be like opportunity number 6. There's like 6 buying opportunities on that leg higher. So don't ever complain. Oh man, John, fuck. I was missed trades. You might have missed the like one of the earlier entries because you want the whole move like I do. You're like me. You want the whole fucking move. Well, that's going to bite you in the ass if you don't want to take like late mitigations. I can't help you. All right, but you're just like me for real. You know, you want the whole thing. I get that. Hey, look, man, I had a pizza delivered the other day. I was like, fuck, man, I want the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? So I understand, but you're not always going to get the whole thing. What you need is a win. That's it. Remember all the streams from last week, and all those same ideas still panned out, still panning out. Because as I've said like 30 times the last 2 weeks, this is all coded. This is all designed to do this. Right? Algorithms work on conditions. Okay, there's rules, there's parameters. There is like manipulation. Oops. There is manipulation from time to time. But generally, it's still printing the same things. You're going to argue and tell me this was screenshotted July 10th, right? Let me see if I can fit all this on one screen. This was screenshotted July 10th. Today is the 22nd. And you're going to tell me the same things don't pan out? How cool is that? Drop. Oh, what do we got? We don't have a fire emoji. That's the one we're missing. We need to do that. I need to fix that. Drop a gem emoji if you guys are learning, dude. If you guys are learning, drop a gem. If you're too lazy to do that, drop a like on the stream. Oh, button doesn't work. Oh. So all you had to do was just wait for liquidity or wait for the framework. Right? Sometimes that's the hardest part. Matter of fact, I'll show you something too. I kind of hesitated, so I missed it. I'm not gonna lie to you, I fucking missed it. I was hesitating a little bit too much. But this was a 2-minute imbalance, and I was waiting for the ES highs to get taken because they haven't got Friday's. I think it was Friday's high hasn't been. It wasn't taken, right? So the same idea for NQ, right? Friday's highs being low resistant highs. These two together. Do you see that? Oh my God. Right? This high and this high here, that together is low resistant highs. I was like, okay, I'm going to trade that. And guess what? We didn't get that at our equities open. It came up and made like triple highs or whatever. Or technically equal highs, I guess then. Then it drops lower to take all the lows here. You see how consecutive those are? Like those four put together. It's not a trend line. Okay? So don't screenshot and be like, John showing fucking trend lines. No. I'm just saying, look at the consecutiveness of those lows. That gets taken, and all of the lows get taken here. Right there. And so that's why I was like, oh, I want to long that. And I did it. And then it ran up to that. So that was kind of cool. Then that run, or that it ran liquidity like a little bit, but on the micro side, that is what ended up creating the framework for later on. So that's why I'm not too like I'm not kicking myself in the ass too much for hesitating here, because I didn't really care for how we made the low anyway. But that was an idea I had earlier. I just didn't take it. So, but anyway, if we were to wrap everything up from what we talked about today, there was an opportunity to like long below old lows, or an imbalance that forms on the way to liquidity. That's an imbalance model, right? So that was an opportunity, missed that. And then all the framework and everything I just showed you here, all the opportunities on Nasdaq, it's going to be seen in the NQ as well. Oh no, we've been on S&P this whole time. Sorry. The framework and trade ideas that were presented here on ES to go higher. So there's a lot to study. There's a lot to look at. We utilize dollar and euro and British pound, which can also confirm indices. Nobody you know has ever told you, yeah, I look at British pound to trade Nasdaq. Nobody ever told you that. If they did, you should let me know, because I would be curious if they've ever done that. But I'm willing to bet nobody's ever told you that. This is the cool shit, okay? Look, I don't even have not even 8,000 subs on YouTube, okay? I'm not, like, the channel's not blowing up. I don't care. None of that matters to me. What matters is you guys are learning what really works. You understand? Legally, I can't promise profitability, okay? But there's a reason that I'm able to tell you, oh, I'm bullish and it goes higher, or I'm bearish and it goes lower, more times than not. I'm not always right. You know, for the you know, for Nasdaq, we did have those highs there for a couple of days. I mean, that was Thursday, you know, and I had that on my radar on Friday. We never got it. But Friday just created another set of liquidity. So if we took a loss on Friday, you know, maybe you did, you could have easily got that back today. Or if you're playing a longer term swing, you would definitely outdo any trades that you took on Friday that might have been losers. So it was good, Slim. You came right at the outro. Nice. Not to call you out or anything, but that's gonna wrap it up, man. That is gonna wrap it up. No, I don't. Like, you can still you can still attack like liquidity, you know. It's just when it's shallow like that, because I can tell you exactly what I would have done here. I would have longed this. That's a 2-minute imbalance, right? And then like at 85 or maybe like 87 if I just like fucked up the entry and came in late. 87, 97, like 07. Yeah, that would have been 20 points. That probably would have been a partial. And I would have said, you know, I want to see an actual run, you know, 5 points or whatever. So whatever this high is, I would have added 5. So I would have said 56.13 is the level that I want. And then it trades lower. And I'd say, okay, well, you know, let's see the run. It would go higher. And then I'd go, okay, cool, I'm about to TP. And then it shits the bed and I would have got stopped out in profit somewhere. That's exactly what would have happened. Because that's what I usually do. And that's why I said this is more of a run. Like 13 and a half would be 5 points above that high, which we still haven't really seen. So shallow runs are good for like partials. But if it's a real stop run, I want to see a move above it. So sometimes I do get greedy. But if you don't want to do that, like if you hate that, if you despise like break-even trades, then as soon as it makes a new high by like 1 tick or 1 pip on the FX side, then just get out altogether. But then don't bitch if it runs another 10, 15 pips or 10 points and you're not in it. You're like, oh, well, John told me just to get out at a new high. It's like, bro, I can't always tell if it's going to run, you know, that first time or if it's going to run a later time. I might know a lot of things, but I don't know everything. Okay? I wish I did. I wish I had every answer to every, you know, situation. But the markets are there's a lot of variables in case you haven't noticed. And it's really fucking hard to be, you know, elite status precision. It's fucking hard. Okay? It's very difficult. But that's why we do our best, man. All right? But yeah, Anthony, y'all have a good one. Or you have a good one. Everyone else have a good one as well. We'll be here, same time, same place, tomorrow on Tuesday for another live session. Be blessed. Don't do anything stupid. And I'll see you then.
Every once in a while something changes, and she's changing me. It's too late for me now, I am altered. There is something beneath. She's not acid nor alkaline, caught between black and white, not quite either day or night. She's perfectly misaligned. I'm caught up in her design and how it connects to mine. I see in a different light. The object of my desire. Let's talk about chemistry, 'cause I'm dying to melt.